for a fact that it stems from our parenting system.
Yeah. So that you have self-pity.
We came from, sorry to say, dysfunctional home.
We live in a world that has placed a timeline on almost everything, mostly things that you achieve at a certain age of your life. You know, the world says by 20 you should have finished school, by 25 you should be married, by 30 you should have your life figured out, you should have arrived. And what makes it worse is social media. The pressure from social media doesn't make it easy. The thing is, comparison is not new. This particular generation sits at the front row of comparison 247, so it gets in your head and it forces you to put pressure on yourself and compare yourself with other people. Today we are talking about a very sensitive topic, the comparison trap. Why it is so difficult for people our age range to stop comparing themselves with other people the same age range of young people who have been more opportuned to achieve certain things earlier than everyone else. Now, this conversation is not to tell young people to stop comparing themselves. It's really to understand, why does it happen? How can we manage it, and what does it cost you? I will not be speaking about this on my own. I have with me two amazing people who will join me on this show. To my far right, I have Miss Ene Mfonabasi. It's so good to have you. Could you please tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you stand for?
Okay, so I'm Ene by name, yeah, and I do my own little thing in my own little corner on YouTube.
Nice.
That channel is called Ene Series.
Okay.
I'm really concerned with people's emotional well-being, and I'm very aware that the emotional being of people can do something to them that if they don't find a way around it, it's going to really destructive in the future, right?
Okay.
So I am so concerned about that, and I'm also in the educational sector.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, I connect with kids, teenagers precisely, and it's really great that I can impact their life with it. So.
Oh, wonderful. You're doing the Lord's work. I don't know if we can pay you. I'm not sure. And very close to me, I have Esther Amiye. Let me not blow anybody's trumpet. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Esther Amiye. I'm happy to be on the show. I'm an advocate for addiction, and the rate of suicide in the country is very high because people are going through a lot.
Yeah.
So I actually advocate for people from addiction, suicide, depression. I'm a medical practitioner, and I also venture into youth and adolescent friendly, where we actually talk to youth, adolescents, get to know what's wrong with them at a certain age. You know, when you get to the adolescent age, the age where a
lot of things could go wrong, yeah.
Emotions
Inconsistent,
are just there all over the place, like tantrum. And also, I'm a public speaker. I go out to speak to students in schools. Also, I also go out for outreaches, contributing my quota back to the society through free medical surgeries and through free medical care. And also, I'm a lover of God.
Wonderful.
Yes, so I actually give back to God what He has given to me. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you listen to the portfolio of these ladies? I believe we can't pay them, but this is the Lord's work. And like they say, the reward of teachers will be in heaven, but no, you will get yours on earth.
Amen.
Somebody shout power. Okay, so we're going to dive straight into the topic of today, the comparison trap. The comparison trap. What is comparison? Have you had like a personal experience where you caught yourself at the nib of it and you were like, I'm comparing, I'm putting two and two together and it's not giving me the same answer? So from your experience or your interactions with people, what can you say comparison is? Not dictionary definition, but what can you tell us comparison is?
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
So when we talk about comparison, we have the good comparison and we have the bad comparison.
Okay.
Yeah. The good comparison actually helps you grow, while the bad comparison brings jealousy and can also lead to destruction.
Okay.
So let me use this. When growing up, we actually had the BlackBerry. I want to use gadgets as an example. You know, everybody was, I want to own a BlackBerry and all that. We could see that year, a lot of people died, especially ladies.
Because they wanted to own
BlackBerries. Because I want to be among the BlackBerry babes. But I want to ask, now, if you tell somebody to go and buy a BlackBerry, they can
They'll
actually
stone you.
Thank you very much. So now the new trend is iPhone.
Yeah.
And if you don't have an iPhone, it's as if you're not part of this generation, the Gen Z generation. So everybody, there's a trend, and as it keeps moving, comparison keeps increasing. Okay, my personal story about comparison. I think I had certain friends around me were of the same age grade, you know. So I think at a certain time, probably 2 or 3 years ago, seeing everybody moving forward, getting married,
the pressure.
I've just bought a new car, you know, being in their midst.
Yeah.
And I would say
Pressure.
there are 6 of us, and me being now the only single lady, because just one of them just went there.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Thank you very much. So you're not like, Jesus Christ. Everybody is married. Everybody is not their husband house. So even if a lot, they'll not be like, I want to go and see my husband, I want to go for my husband. They want to leave the core. You being the single lady, you just have to accept your fate. You know, that thing began to weigh up on me, began to sneak. And one thing with comparison is, it's quiet.
You might not catch it when it starts.
It's very quiet. It's not loud. It just comes gradually. And before you know, if you don't begin to help your mental state, what you begin to do is, when you begin to absorb it, before you know, envy begins to come in.
Wow.
The communication between you and these people will begin to drop.
Yeah.
Because everything they do now seems as if they are pointers to you.
Like you haven't achieved what they've achieved.
I have friends who already have their masters and PhD, and here am I still struggling with BSc, trying to still finish your masters.
Yeah.
These people are now married, and then you're like, when am I going to get married? And some of them have already gotten houses. They're now driving in their cars, and then when we really want to hang out, they'll be like, I'm going here, I'm driving there, so you can start coming. And as a normal Nigerian, now you have to go along. You have to go along. Else you have to get an Uber. So one thing with comparison is, you have to train your mind as a person to actually tell yourself the truth that in as much as this thing is there, it will not end. But life is a progress. It's a process. And we all must go through that process if we want to achieve things. You know, my generation, that generation Gen Z, after the
fast money.
I want to begin to live in an apartment where our parents took 35 years of civil service to actually build. We want to own gadgets that our parents, even till now, 35 years,
they cannot afford
it. You know, we want to do things that are bigger than the things. I know that we are dreaming, but when you want to dream big, don't dream big under the other
pressure to validate.
Because now the ritual killing is high, and girls too are being influenced by the kind of association they keep. I think another thing that actually affects us as human beings are our association.
Okay, so I'm going to cut you there.
Okay.
I'm going to cut you right there. So because we've moved from defining to telling stories, which is good, which is really okay. Now I want to ask you, Miss Ene, do you think comparison is necessary?
Like she said earlier, there is good comparison and there is toxic comparison.
So do you think comparison is necessary?
I actually don't think it's necessary.
Why would you say so?
If you ever want to compare yourself with another person, you should compare your present with your past.
Don't you think comparing yourself with another person is more of a motivation to you to do better?
How many people get motivated by that? Just very few. Majority of persons just get, either they have low self-esteem for that.
Wow.
Or they become pressured. And that's when you discover that comparison exposes the superiority complex. Because there's people that feel that they're superior to others. So when you're in that place of that comparison, you hear things like, why should she even have it? You get, she shouldn't even have it. What does she have that I don't have?
Also, they feel better than the other person.
So it's annoying to them that someone else is living the life
that they wish they lived.
That's it.
That's diabolical. If not broad day witchcraft in broad daylight.
Those things happen. So comparison, I don't think we should compare. So if you ever want to compare your present with your past. Where am I right now? Where was I before? If there is a clear difference between where you are now from your past, then I think you're fine. You're on the road to success, right?
So that means you're making progress.
You're making progress at your own pace, and that's what is supposed to progress.
Wow.
There's no standard for anybody. So don't let social media take a standard for you and tell you that, oh, this how your life should be quick. You are the one that is going on your journey.
So do you think if we take away social media, it would solve most of the problems?
Of course.
How about people who have businesses on social media? What happens?
People that have businesses on social media, like if they are going to feel...
Would that not affect their output?
I don't think it's going to affect their output. I think that, let me say it like this, comparison, no one can force you to be pressured if you don't want to be pressured.
That's true.
Someone is putting out their business out there. It's packaging. You are the one that decides to be motivated by how they are positioning themselves. So if you decide to feel bad because of how someone is packaging themselves, that's on you. That's not on them. You get it? That's on you. That's not on them. And sometimes we are concerned with how people are packaging themselves, forgetting that it is editing. Do you get? Someone sits
They don't
down,
show the behind the scenes. You don't see everything.
Shows everything perfectly, and then puts a part that they want you to see on social media, and here you are. And sometimes you think that you are not better than them. You are better than them. It's just that you just don't know how to polish yourself.
Okay, that's really insightful. I have a follow-up question. What are the causes of comparison? Is that something we can look at and say, okay, this causes comparison, this causes comparison? What can we look at as the causes of comparison?
How can you know that you're
comparing yourself with another?
First, when you think that you're not doing enough.
What if in the real sense you're not really doing enough?
What makes you think that you're not doing enough? It's because you saw someone else. That's why you think you're not doing enough.
Wow.
So when you see, there's someone that you're looking at, and that person has become the standard, and so you think, I'm not doing enough for this point in my life that I am. So that's how you know that you are measuring up your life with that of another person. And sometimes you have external factors. When your Nigerian parents tells you, can't you
see your mates?
Right from when we were in secondary school, someone fancies more than us.
Do you have two heads?
You're just looking at yourself like, God, am I in school? All those kind of things. So subconsciously, all those things affect us. So when you see yourself, you're just looking at another person and you're like, I think this person is doing better than I am. Okay, so another way you can find out if you have issues with comparison is when you discover that you have self-pity. Because you're always thinking that other people are better than you. Even when you're bringing your A game, you get. So let's just say now, this podcast, you're invited to come and speak. You start asking yourself questions. Am I sure that? Am I okay?
Am I qualified?
Did I do well? These other people are better than me. And there's a question I usually ask myself whenever I see like programs that they invite pastors to come and minister, and then you see prominent men of God, their faces on the fire and everything, and then you now see the face of someone that you don't really know. I usually ask myself, how is this person coping being in the midst
of people like this?
How are you even sure of yourself? Because what if just a whole lot of questions? So when you see yourself having that issues, you're asking questions, you're pitying yourself, oh God, I don't have anybody, all those kind of things, then
lamentations.
Yes, you know that you have issues with that. So
wow. So Miss Esther, from your own perspective, what causes comparison?
Okay, I'll say first and foremost, traumatic experiences.
Traumatic experiences, how so?
Yeah.
Rough childhood?
From childhood. We came from, sorry to say, dysfunctional homes in lots of people.
That's so sad, but it's true.
There were a lot of comparison from even your siblings within, from outside, you get. So, and also maybe you mix with peers. So you're going to hear something like, my dad gives me everything, my mom gives me everything, and the rest of that. But you know that this thing cannot translate into your kind of person in your home, because you know that even going to ask your mom or your dad for something, and then we all came from home where our dads were like the lion of the tribe of the home.
The tyrant.
Yeah, so it was discipline. There was no bond. So growing up with such traumatic experience, it also links into your adulthood. So if care is not taken, you begin to exhibit those things
unconsciously.
You just see yourself doing it. And then if you're someone that does not do this, there's what we call checkmate. At the end of every quarter, what I do is every 3 months, I sit down and check my growth.
Introspection.
Yes. What I do is I check my mental health. I put myself on check. Mental health, finances, growth-wise, academic-wise. I do that. Why? it helps me also pinpoint all these things. Who are the association you're keeping? Who are the people that are feeding you with a lot of things? They say on social media, it's not everything you listen to, but let's tell ourselves the truth. We hear everything.
Even when you don't want to hear it.
Even when you don't want to hear it, you must hear it. And then subconsciously, our brains begin to take in these things. And then like now, everybody is on clock it, smarting, clock it. You see? So you don't want to do it, but unconsciously, everybody is doing it. So I just want to do it.
Yeah.
Also, you get. So I think traumatic experiences is one of these causes. Second, peer group influence. Peer group influence causes comparison.
And it's so sad that some African families don't believe in therapy.
Nah, they don't. So I think this is where I'm actually building something called Solace. I'm a co-founder of Solace. What do we do there? We are running 2 services. Our first service is a fully anonymous vetting hotline.
Okay.
Now you're having a lot. You're looking for who to talk to. You
There's
don't know
nobody
who to talk to. Now we made it anonymous in such a way I don't know who is calling.
Oh,
and you don't know who you're speaking with.
Exactly. But you're getting solutions.
Yes, but you're getting solutions. So when you call me, you're free to vet. You're free to pour out everything that is wrong with you. And then we now move it to the next stage, which is the therapy. Now at that point, what we do is we have heard your vetting, whatsoever you've said. We will not take you through. We are going to be very real with you. We are not there it's not about denomination, it's not about church, it's about the human life, psychology of the human body, and how we can actually help you.
So let me cut and bring you back to a statement you made. Traumatic childhood experiences. And I know for a fact that it stems from our parenting systems. Very wrong way of parenting. I don't know how or where our parents got it from. But if we are to compare different parenting systems in different households, you will notice a decline in the behavior of a child and maybe a progressive growth in the behavior of another child, and that can be linked back to parenting system. How can we curb comparison in the home? Because it starts from the home. A mother who is a mother in the house is a teacher outside. Comparing her kids in the home, when she goes to her place of work, she still carries that attitude there to compare 2 kids together. So how can we curb comparison in the household?
Okay, so the very first thing to know is that children are different.
Exactly.
In fact, I love being in the midst of families because I love seeing the peculiarities in everybody. Children are so different. It would be really wrong to treat one child the way you're treating the other one, or to expect one child to behave the same way the other one is behaving. So you just find what works for each child. Go with that. Some kids are not smart intellectually. When it comes to
book and all that,
you won't see them there. Yes. But if we're talking about any other thing,
creativity,
you see they are there. So you just position them in the areas of their strengths. And that's just learn to accept people the way they are. No need to force your child to be what you want them to be. Trying to,
certain values with the child.
Just allow them. They are peculiar, they are different, they are unique, and it is fine. I think another reason why parents do all of that is because of opinions. What will people say?
So you're training your child for society.
Yeah, people will say. Another parent comes to your house. Oh, my child took first position. What did your own child take? Do you get?
That's none of your business.
All of that, and then so that you have something to say to, you have something to brag about. Parents now, they like bragging about their children. So they have to, keep stopping the child. Why are you not doing better? Some children are slow learners.
Exactly.
I see them in laws all the time. Some are slow learners. You take it easy with them, right? We're talking about peers. Yeah.
Yes.
People learn at their own pace. So the very first thing is realize that kids are different. No favoritism. No, don't take one child, even if you love one child
more than the other. Don't show
it. Not to show it.
It's hard, but
but just right. So I think that's what we're.
Wow. And another thing I was going to say is, I think if parenting is so much of a hassle for you, don't have kids. It's that simple. If you will not put time and effort and energy into raising your children the way you're supposed to do, not to raise your kids for society or so you have a bragging rights, please don't have kids. A lot of people are following the trend now. I don't want to have kids because it's too much it's a hard job. It's not an easy thing. So if you know for a fact that you will not put in the time required to raise a child properly, you should not have a child. It's that simple. And I think this is because from dysfunctional homes, we have dysfunctional children, and the society suffers it. Who is the society? Both of us that were trained properly. So how do we manage situations like this? If you cannot train your child, close your legs. Go do a vasectomy or do a hysterectomy. I think it solves the problem. So, which leads me to my next question. Is there a difference between comparison that pushes you forward and comparison that tears you down? And how can you tell them apart?
Okay, like I said earlier, there is a very clear difference.
Okay.
Any comparison that makes you do better, not out of pressure.
Okay.
They are not pressurizing you to, I need to step up, everyone has left me behind. Not that kind. But the kind that you see someone doing what you've always wanted to do and you're genuinely happy for them.
Okay.
First thing, you are happy for them and you're like, wow, I really need to come back.
This is something I can do, and maybe I abandoned.
Yes, I need to come back and start posting content. Like recently I saw one of my classmates from secondary school. She's out there. I was like, girl,
this is
so
good.
Well. I was like, I need to, you're happy.
Yeah.
But when you are, like I said, either you're feeling, you have self-pity or superiority complex. They don't deserve it. Oh God, why me? Oh God, when? Then you know that it's bringing you down.
Okay.
That kind of thing is going to deflect your self-esteem. You just feel like you don't deserve any good thing. You don't have anything that is good enough. You're not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be in this room with everyone. You just feel like
you're out of place. Exactly. You're the odd one out.
Yes, even when no one is even seeing it. And one thing about that stuff,
it shows.
It smells.
Yes. It has an aura.
Yes, people just see that, know that okay, this one, and that's why they use you.
Yeah.
Because they just know that it surrounds you like a shield.
It
surrounds you like a shield. So when you're exuding that kind of energy, you discover that it's toxic, it's bringing you down, it's damaging your self-esteem. And the superiority complex thing, when you feel like everyone does not deserve any good thing apart from you, then it's not a good place to be. Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you, have you ever had to unfollow, mute, or block someone because of how their life made you feel? And how did you grow up? What did it feel like when you probably saw them on the gram posting, or maybe you saw them in person and your heart just sank? Have you ever had to block someone, mute, or unfollow? How did that even make you feel?
Okay. So blocking, yes. Mute, yes.
Oh wow.
Unfollow, very well. Yeah. So I think I'm going to just share a short story about that. I think I had this friend. We actually told ourselves that there's this certain level we're going to get to, and then when we get there, we're going to get married. We're going to have gotten our PhD to be called Dr. This, Dr. That. That pride as children. And for some kind of reason, I think her life just went the way we had planned. But seeing that this person is already being called a doctor at that particular age, the person achieved what we actually said we were going to achieve. I began to ask myself, hello, is there something wrong with me? Are you sure I'm okay? And then every time she ran something on Facebook and she was not having plenty followers. You know that thing about followers, when just someone makes a post and in 2 hours you're seeing
100
2K,
followers.
3K.
The bar is wide.
You're making the same post and you're seeing 70.
The bar is wide.
You get. So when I began to see that, then I didn't really know that there's some comparison that could be very toxic. So I just no, this one is paining me in my chest. And then to make it worse, she will now, when she's done with all that, she will not come to my DM. She will be like, this is my new video. Did you see my new this?
And it might be not from a place of harm or jealousy or anything. Maybe she's just excited.
And then she's even like, babe, when we said you were going to do this thing, you're not even done it though. Those kind of things. So gradually I allowed jealousy to creep in. There's something that someone said. He said, most times drop your pride and actually learn from your friends.
Yeah.
Most times your friends could be your mentors.
Yes, they could be better than you.
Familiarity.
Exactly.
So we have not seen the things we should tap from the particular person.
The value they can offer.
Good. So if, for instance, I had let myself then to understand what I understand now,
You will not
I
have
think I will
looked
not
at.
be where I am now.
Oh,
Yes. So I'm now beginning to struggle to do those things we had said we're going to do. But I think she had gone ahead, she had her experiences, she knows the corners to actually go through.
yeah.
If I was cool, I would have been able to learn. And by now I know where I would have been.
Wow.
So at the moment now, when we said at a certain age we're going to travel outside the country, truth be told, she's already outside.
Wow.
She's doing a lot of things from there. And if you don't really know, you won't even know that she's outside the country. And she's doing well for herself. So I began to understand with time that things, we don't have the same destiny.
Exactly.
Just like David and Joseph, they were still going to march to the throne.
Yeah.
But they were not going to take
Different
the same road.
timing. Yeah.
Yes. Same thing that we want to talk about Ruth, Esther. Ruth has a husband to die for. Esther has a parent to die for to actually get to that same point. So I began to matchmake all these things and began to ask myself that, okay, so that means we're going to get there, but we're not going to pass through the same route.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think there's another thing the Holy Spirit taught me was, are you the one that owns your life? I said no. Are you the one that created yourself? I said no.
You don't
Are
decide
you the
the
one with the
trajectory
exam?
at
I
which.
said no. He said, you already have exam in school and you don't answer all the questions. Why? Because there are some questions that are tougher than the other. But won't you answer questions? You will. So there are going to be obstacles on the road. He said the road, he did not promise us
a smooth journey,
but he promised us a safe landing.
Yeah, we will get there in the end.
So whether it takes you 10 years, it takes you 30 years. There are people's lives that started at 40.
Exactly.
Some started at 50. Some started quite early. And I think another thing is maybe family. We came from a family that had it. The silver spoon in quotes.
I was going to say comparison is unnecessary because some people have leverage over others.
Yeah.
And the wise people capitalize on the leverage that they have.
True.
Like you said, leverage could be family. Leverage could be a friend. Leverage could be something you know that any other person doesn't know. And you are smart enough to monetize, maybe not monetize, but put it out there. And people come to you as an authority in that field. So you can pin yourself there and you build yourself up. Which brings me to my final question. What do you think young people need to hear about comparison that they've not heard? And what is your word of advice to any and every young person out there who is dealing with comparison?
Okay, I would say that sometimes the person that you're comparing yourself to, you're better than them.
In real sense.
Just know that. Sometimes what they have, like you said earlier, is just knowledge gap. They know something that you don't know. So put yourself out there, get knowledge, and know your selling points.
Exactly.
There are some people that they are not the best at what they do, but there's just something about them. They realize the kind of power that they have when they step into a room, and they maximize it to their advantage. So know what is your own, and then use it to your advantage. People are going to love you. So just realize that. Another thing is that you may seem like you're doing a lot that you can and nothing is working. Because sometimes we call people lazy when we don't see a kind of progress in their lives.
Exactly. But we don't know what they're doing behind closed doors.
Sometimes they are doing the best that they can, but for whatever reason, things are not just moving. For God knows why. Just don't know. If you are that person and you're listening to us right now, I just want you to know that you are not delayed. For people like that, you are just special people. God is placing you in a waiting season. And one thing about people that wait is that you know their strengths. When it's time, to show up. And then just like you know the story of Ahab and Elijah. When Elijah was waiting, Ahab had already outrun him.
Yeah.
But when the spirit came upon him, what happened?
He got there before
the chariot of Ahab. So you should just know that if you're that person, God is working on you. What you should do in this season of your life is get all the skill if you can, learn everything that you can, position yourself, because one day the doors will be open for you and then God is going to do what He wants to do for you. Godliness with contentment.
Thank you so much, Miss Anna. Miss Esther, to you.
Okay, so I think she has said a lot, and I think I'm going to actually pick from there. So as youth and adolescents, because here we are pushing it out to youth and adolescents, you know, working with them, I've been able to discover that family contributed, but we can actually help them in a little way we can. That is why we create programs for them, and we're being realistic with them. life will always not remain the way it is now.
Exactly.
Life will always progress, life will always change, and they say change is constant. So we'll keep going, and we'll keep exploring. Like she said, when you begin to experience that you're in the waiting season, a little story, just like I said, that there was a season I felt so stuck. I was doing everything, but
Nothing
I wasn't
was
seeing
working.
anything. I'm like, it's only me. The same people will learn the same thing I've been, but you. I'm like, is there something that is wrong? So I think I spoke with my mentor. I think another thing is accountability.
Yeah, have
Yes.
somebody who
Yes,
can
yes,
speak.
accountability. See, in everything, as an individual, as a human being, be accountable to somebody. Have a mentor. Have a mentor at particular fields. Like, I have mentors in different fields.
For your
So,
spiritual
for my spiritual life,
life,
for
mental health,
finance,
finance, and all
for
of that.
everything. And then I have an all-round mentor, someone that can give me an all-round counsel.
More like a life coach.
Thank you very much. So, and also I have an accountability partner.
Exactly.
Now, what do we do? Every quarter, like I said, we sit down, we take our good stock. What have you done? We said we're going to achieve this. Were you able to do it? No. And we don't try to mount so much unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Okay, out of 3, you've done 1. That's good. Okay. So that means we can pick up again for the next one. So when you have an accountability partner, it makes your life easy. You know, this person could be there all around, all weather. And like she said, you're in a waiting season. When you're waiting, like I said, what does a waiter do? A waiter serves. When you go to a place, you say waiter, you call, and the person comes to attend to you. The person is taking your request to go and get your order. When you're waiting, you have to serve. When you're waiting, you have to take orders. When you're waiting, you have to study. When you're waiting, and most times that season is always quiet. You could be praying, you could be doing your own, you're not hearing anything.
You should build capacity.
That is where God is telling you that I have a lot, but you must wait. David was anointed, but it took him 40 years before he could mount the throne. He was in exile, he was in the bush, he was in the cave, and he was building momentum.
He was not idle.
He was not idle. So when you're in your waiting season, you must build.
Yes.
That is where God is telling you, build capacity, make friends, build your association. It's gonna help you. And also when you're waiting, try as much as possible to also have a moment of solace for yourself. You know, go back into your shop, ask yourself some very vital questions. This thing I'm doing, what's the next push? If God gives me an opportunity, am I ready? What am I going to do with this opportunity? So that you don't waste, because opportunities can come as little as
one time in your whole lifetime.
So don't waste any opportunity that you see. Any skill you're learning is not for waste. Anything you're doing now, you're not wasting it. You get. So someone like me, I learned web development. I might not be using it now, but I know that they time that it will come and I will use it. And also, due to the waiting season, it also pushed me to begin to write some other books. Like now, I'm almost finishing a book called Dear 30 Something. At Dear 30 Something, it's taking us through the life journey of those in their 30s. It's preparing you mentally, physically, financially to tell you that things are coming.
So in a nutshell, don't stay idle.
Don't stay idle.
Build, even if it looks like something is not working. Leverage on the alone time you have to build. Build capacity to accommodate the life that you have envisioned for yourself. So the capacity you're building should not be short of accommodating what you want for yourself. This has been a very insightful conversation, and something you said just is stuck in my head: superiority complex. I don't think I'd actively thought about that, but I think it has been a very insightful session with Miss Esther and Miss Ene. And sadly we have to leave, but we will be back on your screen same time next week, hopefully. So I'd like for you to leave us your thoughts and your questions in the comment section. We will do well to respond to every single one of them. I want to thank you so much for staying with us, and thank you to our resource persons for coming at such short notice. Thank you so much. We look forward to having you on this channel, and thank you to our viewers, thank you to our subscribers. We will see you in the next episode. Do have a wonderful evening.